Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of UDS Interviews, our series where we chat to interesting people from around the world. Now, my guest this week is a punk band that are looking to offer some much needed escapism through their catchy hooks and heartfelt lyrics. And they also happen to be the most destructive force to come out of Littlehampton since the Body Shop's founder, Anita Roddick. True story. Here to talk all about their upcoming album, it is my pleasure to introduce Mark and Tom from arguably the most handsomest band performing today, Gloo.
Yeah, that's an intro. The Body Shop reference is just absolutely killer.
I've done my local research. Guys, how's it going?
Really good. Cheers, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to get to the music in just a bit, which is the reason you're here. But before we get to that point, I need to get to know the real you. And to do that, I need to ask the hard-hitting questions. And that is, so this is a question for you both individually. If you were a type of sandwich, what kind of sandwich would you say best represents you as a person?
I would be sausage and egg with no sauce, just plain simple. Most people are up for it unless you're really fussy, and it'd be on white bread as well, just to keep it that little bit more boring and normal.
Classic.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to say really, but I'd say something with that's quite hard to understand. So something that nobody actually knows. So I don't know.
You'd be like a brie and grape from Waitrose.
Bougie.
Maybe that might be a bit too classy though.
Yeah, but I think you're a brie and grape from Londis then.
Yeah, that's me. That is actually me. Yeah, and no one buys it, but yeah. It's there.
But it's there. It's alive.
Yeah, it's one of those things that can be delicious, but runs a bit of a risk. You know, you could be having the best sandwich of your life, but it may give you the runs. Like, I don't know.
You have to be force fed it and learn to like it.
Yeah, you got to learn to.
So
figure it out.
We've got all-time classic and an acquired taste. So I like the two ends of the spectrum. But you both sound delicious. But we should probably get to the music. And that is your new album, How Not to Be Happy, is out in just a few short days, dropping August 27th, if I've remembered my dates correctly.
Yeah,
that's correct.
In one. So what can people expect from your second album?
I'm going to say a lot more depth than our last one, so a bit more chords going on where we had power chords before. We've got actual full-on chords now, and
harmonies,
better songs in general as well.
Yeah, it's a bit more of an eclectic mix, probably a better sort of representation of our varied musical tastes, I would say.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I completely agree with what I've heard so far. Like one of your latest tracks, Swimming in Your Sea, I definitely think it has that sort of extra layer of depth to it compared to some of your other stuff. It feels like you're going into sort of some new directions that perhaps you haven't explored before.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I probably a lot through boredom of, after a while, there's only so many times you can do like an angry punk song.
Yeah.
And then like I'm sitting in my bedroom writing it and I'm like, I've got to come up with something else.
Well, they say that's a sign of a proper artist is one that doesn't sort of, stay in the same place. And particularly in lockdown, I'm guessing the album for all of you guys was quite a nice way of keeping sane and keeping your mind occupied when there's very little else going on in the world.
Yeah, we definitely needed it. And because we did like the recording in between like the lockdowns at the beginning, it was like a nice way to keep, like, it's almost like a job at the beginning of it. where everyone was probably staying at home doing like nothing. We were actually on a task to get the recording good.
Yeah, even if it was just like replying to like mix notes and things when we couldn't even go out, there was always something to do. It kept us pretty nice, and it was nice to be busy with it, whereas sometimes when you record it's like hectically stressful because there's loads going on, whereas we had nothing, so we were like, we could really sort of get stuck in.
It gave you sort of that time to breathe with sort of these new ideas, and sort of, you know, almost enforced boredom in a way that, you know, you, because you're bored, you want to sort of explore those new areas and new soundscapes and what other wanky terms musicians use. Not that you guys are wanky, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
we agree though. We agree with the wanky terms 100%.
Yeah, no, well, I have to admit, as much as I've loved your new tracks, the music videos have been top notch as well, and I definitely feel like they sort of, you know, give off that vibe that you guys don't take yourself too seriously.
Oh, good.
That's the goal. I'm glad that's what they do.
Yeah,
because like even going, I'm trying to think what ones we've done videos for now. With like the Work So Hard one, like, because that originally had like an almost like 3-minute long intro. I think we did put it up somewhere in the end of that whole character coming in at the beginning and saying to us like, look, you're not cool enough. It's not on trend what you're doing. Like, we had but the label, like, you can't have an intro that's longer than the song on the video. So it does exist. I think it might be on YouTube. If it's not on YouTube, it'll just be on Instagram somewhere. It's like the whole like comedy sketch of that first bit, which we were arguably probably more excited about doing than the actual fucking video.
Yeah, but I mean, even like Ride, just proving all the dumb stuff you can do with a green screen. It's just, I live for that stuff. It's so good. It's so good. But obviously, you know, as the world opens up, live shows have been able to become more what we want live shows to be. And you guys haven't wasted any time. You guys have sort of hit the road as soon as you can, including, if I've read correctly, Worthing High Street as one of your locales. How did that go? How did that come about?
Dirty Worthing, yes. It was through I was through Atom Presents, and we did a gig on the pier last year, and they sort of filmed it to promote the idea of these shows that were going to be like outdoor events, because no one could go outside because of COVID, like couldn't go inside because of COVID. But obviously, by the time they actually organised events, you could just have a gig indoors.
Yeah.
But obviously, any chance to just like play outside in a street that you've walked up and down since you were like 9 years old is like, we'll take it for sure.
Nice. And what was it, a good vibe? Did you get like, were people stopping to check you guys out?
Yeah, we had quite a few people in the end. I reckon there was about 100 people.
Oh, sweet.
Us. Yeah,
which, to be honest, we didn't expect that in the middle of a street. We thought it might actually be like a clearance method, you know.
Crowd control.
It would have been like one of them cat things people put in their gardens that are like to stop people loitering. That's what we thought we might become, you know. But it actually sort of did the opposite. And I think loads of people were just saying, like, even if they don't like that kind of music, they were like, it's just good to see something happening.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we've all been starved of it. To my shame, I haven't even had a chance to go to a gig yet since all this has happened. So I'm still gagging for it. But you guys have got some more shows. You got a album release show in your hometown on the 27th, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
At Mark's skate shack, like just outside.
Sweet.
It. Yeah,
very cool.
It's going to be well good. And we were like basically saying it's like really important you come down to some album release show, so hopefully everyone from Littlehampton that we know is there, and it's we basically want the police to come and shut it down.
Hopefully by the fifth song, because the sixth one's like quite hard, so
just for the prep.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bold claim to fame. If you can get the coppers to shut you down, you know you're proper punk rock. And then
basically Rage Against the Machine.
Oh god, yeah. Like, I mean, Littlehampton, the streets of like the steps of Wall Street, same difference.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Michael Moore's going to do a documentary about you. It's gonna be great. But I tell you what, like a week later, you're playing the Hobbit in Southampton, which is one of my favorite pubs in the country.
Oh, do you know it?
Yeah, well, I've never lived in Southampton, but I have a lot of friends that live around that way, and I remember they used to do. I can't remember if it was shots or cocktails. I was very drunk when I was in there, but they do with all the drinks named after the different characters and everything like that. And I remember making my way through most of them when I was there, and they have a really crap statue of Aragorn in there, if I remember correctly, just sitting in the corner. Get up on stage if you can.
I didn't even know much about it. We kind of just like booked the gig, and then we told people we were playing it, and then we had like people messaging us saying, "Oh, I'm so glad you're playing there." And we were like, "We're not used to that. Normally, it's just like, oh, they don't talk to us, and they'll just be like, oh, you're playing a gig here." But this time they were like messaged us going, "Oh, that's such a cool venue." So can't wait to play that one.
I've never seen live music there, but it's got a good vibe there. It's a nice crowd there. So no, I'm sure it'd be sick. And you know, near my neck of the woods down in Kent, we have the Lady Luck pub, which is a nice rock themed pub. So if you want to come down my way anytime, then you know, drinks are on me. But
hello,
we can work something out.
If you know any organisers of the gigs, hook us up.
I'll see what we could. We'll chat later. But we should probably get back to the interview. And obviously, you know, in lockdown, everyone's had a lot more time to either write music or, if you're anything like me, consume a hell of a lot of media. So whether it be movies, video games, TV shows, all that sort of stuff. So with that in mind, if you could have a Gloo track featured in anything at all, nothing's off the table, what would it be?
I'd want mine featured in a skate part, like Luan Oliveira, his next sort of Nike SB part, something like that. That would be my kind of jam. Or True Detective. If they made a third series or fourth or whatever they're on now.
I mean, they're two very different things, but I can dig it both ways. Yeah, why not both? What about you, Tom?
So I've always wanted to hear like one of our songs at cinema. I think that's just like an insane level of like, that's a bucket list number one for me. And then probably like, I don't know, like James Bond. I mean, if that could somehow happen one day, like even an a cappella version or something of one of our tracks, like that would just be insane to me. I'll take any film at cinema, just sitting in there.
So when you said cinema, I couldn't tell if you meant in a film or just like when you're in the foyer and you're just waiting for like to pick up your popcorn or something like that.
We'll take that.
Either or. No, I can dig it. But yeah, no, I mean, even James Bond, even as you say, it's an a cappella version. Just think of the exposure. Like once you're in a James Bond film, you're set.
Literally, just think of the moolah.
Yeah, that's why everyone's in a band. There's so much money in live music and everything.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this interview from a fucking Ford Transit van cab.
Yeah, I've got a palace behind this green screen. I definitely don't have my messy bedroom. It's fine. But speaking of our grand plans of, you know, world domination, taking over the music industry, what does the rest of 2021 have in store for you guys?
Woo. We got the tour in September, all the dates for that. Obviously, the album's coming out at the end of August. We've got cool things this time around as well. We've got like limited edition T-shirts that are available on bundles and things like that. Like that
you got socks.
Artwork. We've got socks. Yeah, that was Tom's idea. I mean, to be fair, I thought that was when we went into that. Tom kept asking me. I thought this is a sketchy move, and I was like half-arsing it. And they've been literally selling like hotcakes and things. Absolute joke.
I paid and then my money because I believed in it.
Exactly.
Follow your dreams.
It was a Dragon's Den moment, and I said, you know, once you've invested and your business is at a certain level, then we can buy back in. We're hopefully going to like Europe towards the end of the year as well. I don't know if we're allowed to even say where or why or how yet, but that should be happening in like hopefully towards the end of the year. And then really, if we don't get on the festival circuit next year, I might just go on a killing rampage. That's about it.
I mean, that's on the internet now. That's hopefully the festival circuit does come back then, because that would be a bad time. But no, aside from killing sprees, that sounds very, very exciting. I mean, a little bit, international travel, hopefully when it comes back, will mean that we can open up a few doors. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing you guys live for the first time. But for now, I have to end on, is it the most important question, or is the sandwich question the most? This is the second most important question I'm going to ask you. And that is, we are UDS, which stands for Upside Down Shark. And don't ask me why we settled with Upside Down Shark. It's a very stupid name, but we're in way too deep to change it now. But be that as it may, guys, what are your favorite sharks? And they could be real, they could be fictional, so it could be a shark from a movie or a shark from real life. But what would you say your favorite shark is?
Oh, I know mine.
Go with yours, Tom.
What are the sharks from when we were a kid and they had like leather jackets on and that?
Oh my god, street sharks.
Street sharks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go them because I had actual figures of them.
They were cool, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I definitely had them upside down at some point.
I would say I like the shark in the water at Universal Studios on the Jaws ride. The fake mechanical one. I don't know how we fell for it, but that was a good shot. Also, the Upside Down Shark name, weirdly, the second I thought of it, it is the outside that ride. They have a hanging upside down shark that you take your picture with.
Ah, I feel like I need to make a trip.
It's hanging upside down and you stand in like its jaws are open like that way and you have your head inside it. So I assume that's why you'd called it Upside Down Shark.
No, I can tell you why. I have a note in my phone of things I've started years ago, of things that people say out of context that would be great song or album titles, and I just pulled it from that. And so there is literally no deeper meaning than that. It was between that, I think Tic Tac Pile Driver was on there, 4-inch Philip, and a few other really stupid things.
Was that 4-inch Philip?
Yeah.
I like 4-inch Philip. That's a good one.
I just think Tom from 4-inch Philip has too many connotations that I don't want to associate myself with. But if you guys ever want to use it in a song title or something, feel free to have 4-inch Philip. But
mate, you got it. 50% songwriting credit done.
That's it. I'll take the check in the post. Yeah. And on that note, that is me done. So guys, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute blast chatting to you.
You too, mate.
Thank you very much, mate.
Anytime.
August 27th. Bye.